Laporte trots upfield, plays to Aguero. Aguero plays it through. Here's an opportunity for Manchester City that's converted by Bernardo Silva. Here's Sterling. His ball comes in towards the back post. It's pulled across. It needs a finish. David Silva provides it.
And it's Zinchenko. 4-4 to Sané. Sané it is. And it's Bernardo Silva. It's in. The first one of the game.
Bernardo, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
I wanted to talk to you today about the Liverpool game to start with and how far you ran in that game. We got the statistics afterwards, 13.7 kilometres, which is 8.5 miles you ran in the game against Liverpool. And that's the most anybody in the Premier League has ran this season. And the second most was you again in the Spurs game away from home. How do you do it? What is your fitness regime?
Well, I try to be as fit as I can, eating well, sleeping well, because I know how intense it is here on the Premier League, and especially when you play big games, Liverpool, Tottenham, you play against some of the best players in the world, and you cannot give them lots of time to think, and especially these two teams that are teams that play very offensive football. The game is open, so you have to run a lot and work a lot. So yeah, I'm just happy that we could win these two games, because otherwise the kilometre wouldn't have mattered.
So, I mean, I saw you after the game and you said how tired you were. How do you recover after a game like that? Because it was very clear that you were, so tired.
Well, I'm still young, and I think we're kind of used to it. So we have lots of games per season. We know that if we rest well, if we eat well, will be recovered, especially when you're 24 like me. It's all right. So that's it. Just try and be professional to be fit for the next game.
I was looking through the statistics since you came here last season. You've actually played in 81 games, and that's not including the World Cup or any of your games for Portugal. I mean, is that something that you feel you can maintain, or are you aware that as you kind of get deeper into your career that you have to sort of adjust certain things?
Well, me, I'm still young. I haven't felt it yet, but I can imagine that when you arrive at the 30s, you have to try and control yourself a little bit more. I'll try to be young, mentally and physically, as long as I can, to play as many games as possible. But I know that, at one point it will start to be more difficult.
So yeah, we've noticed as well, in a lot of games, you're popping up in all different types of positions. So, I mean, we've got you here centrally, playing very high as like a number 10. There's loads of games where you play on the right, sometimes I've seen you cutting in from the left. Do you have a favourite position?
I think you have some areas on the pitch where you feel a little bit more comfortable. But me, I've played almost all my career between the right side as a winger and as an offensive midfielder or a number 8. That's where I feel more comfortable. But then you try and learn wherever you play. When I play in the middle, I know that it requires different things. But yeah, I try to be good and learn to feel comfortable everywhere and wherever I go on the pitch.
I was speaking to a few of the players about this particularly Fernandinho has played in a lot of different roles, and he says it helps him because when he returns to his normal position, he's got an understanding of the person playing in that role. Do you find that when you play elsewhere, it helps you understand other people?
Yeah, I'll give you an example. So, for example, now that I'm playing more in the middle, I know how important it is defensively when you go and press high, that the right winger comes back and helps inside. So now maybe if I go back playing on the right side, I will know how important it is to do that job. So yeah, it helps you understand what other players feel when you play with them. So it's good to try new positions.
And I mean, centrally here, this seems to be where you do the most damage. going forward, but you're so diligent with your kind of defensive work that it allows the manager to play you in a number of roles. Some players are uncomfortable with that because they want to be a specialist, but you seem to quite enjoy playing in different areas. Is that the way you see it?
Yes, I like it. I think of it as a challenge. And for example, when I played a more defensive role, defensive in terms of position, against Liverpool away, it was kind of a challenge for me. And it's good. I'm happy with challenges, and I'm happy to try new positions.
I wanted to give you this quote from Pep.
It's almost impossible to be more pleased as a manager, like a manager with him. That's why he deserves to play all the minutes he's playing. He's a good example for all us, for all the guys. I don't forget the behavior he had last season when he played a lot, but not play in the start 11. And I don't forget the behavior he has in confront of his teammates.
So what he's saying is that you played a lot of games last year, but not always from the start. And he'll never forget your attitude and the way you were in that time. Is that something that's natural to you?
Yeah, well, you know that when you're in a club like Man City, it's difficult to play always the entire time. And when you don't do it, you just have to try and work harder to deserve the confidence again to play more minutes.
And then another Pep quote that we took was after the Liverpool game, where he says that you're one of the smallest players, but you're proof that height, strength isn't as important as kind of what's going on inside your head.
Oh, he did everything. We had a problem to build up. He came to help us. He win all the duels. He's the smallest one. He showed us again that to play football you don't need to be. You have to be good because he's precise, he's clean, he's clever. He fought with Van Dijk and making him comfortable his duel. So, big compliment. Bernardo was incredible too.
I think obviously the physique, and when you're stronger it helps you. But I've learned that since I remember I played football, because I was always one of the smallest ones, that you have to try and compensate with other things, because obviously if you're faster or stronger it helps you, but if you think faster and try to go and win the ball with other solutions, you learn from that. And that's a little bit the story of my life playing football, because I was always smaller than most of the players and I had to develop other things, and that's it. Yeah.
Bernardo Silva tries to find some space for a shot, and he finds the net. Bernardo Silva, just before the quarter-hour mark, puts City in front.
Just looking at a couple of my favourite goals that you've scored. Both of them came at the Emirates against Arsenal, this one last year. I mean, we were superb that night, and that was a great goal. Not just your finish, but the actual move leading up to it. And then also the goal at the Emirates earlier this season was another personal favourite of mine. Have you got any favourite goals that really stand out for you since you came to City?
I think, yeah, these two are probably the best ones. Yeah, the way Leroy passed through 3 or 4 defenders was fantastic, and it just gave me the time to go against the left back, cut inside and try to put the ball on the far post. So yeah, it was a good goal and an important one at the moment for us.
And then of course this one where you just
wellied it. Not even me, I wasn't expecting to get the ball as well as I did, because the ball was coming behind me. It was a good pass from Mendy, but yeah, I got it well, and happily we could win again at the Emirates.
And that's a hard technique, that one, isn't it? When the ball was coming across.
Yeah, when it comes behind, especially because it was kicking a little bit. As I said, to be fair, I wasn't expecting to get it this well.
Aguero will find his way through here. Sergio Aguero with the lob under the goalkeeper. City are in front in the Carabao Cup final. 2018 Carabao Cup winners, Manchester City.
And then I just wanted to talk about the Carabao Cup, because that was the first trophy, obviously, that City won in the Pep Guardiola era. Just sum up to me kind of like what your feeling towards this competition is, given that it was your first piece of silverware as a City player?
Well, a very difficult competition to win. We had to go through games like Wolverhampton at home that we won in penalties, Leicester away we won in penalties. Even the semi-finals, both games were very difficult. I remember that. At home, if I'm not mistaken, we won 2-1, scoring on the last minute. So yeah, first title for me as a Man City player and for all the players with Pep. And it gave us the confidence to go on the end of the season and win the Premier League and then the Super Cup in the beginning of this season.
Because I spoke to a few of the players after this game as well, the final last year, and they said that it's unusual for a trophy in most countries to be given out at that stage of the season, but they liked it because it means you've got a trophy in the bag and it settles everybody down and also gives you that confidence. Do you think that's why City seem to take this competition very seriously, don't they? Our record says that.
I think all titles count, and title is a title, and it's for us, we try and take it very seriously, and it's a very important competition for us because on the end of the season, if you look at it and you win the Premier League or you win the Premier League and the Carabao Cup, I think it's different. So yeah, we'll try and do it again this season because all competitions matter for us.
And then one more just on the FA Cup. We didn't win, that was one trophy we didn't win last year. We haven't won it since 2011. Is there a desire amongst you and the others to really go for that one?
Yes, as I said, all competitions matter for us. We know the tradition that it has, the FA Cup here in England, how important it is for the fans. And we're still playing for the 4 competitions and we'll try to keep doing that way. We know that last season the FA Cup was kind of a disappointment for us. We'll try and do it better this season.
Well, Bernardo, we're all loving watching you play football and we hope to see you here for many years.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.